Hello, everyone, and welcome to Crypto Live League, the home of cutting edge crypto news and media content where your attention turns into rewards. If you're not already part of the movement, visit cryptoliveleague.org and join our revolutionary new social media platform. I'm Ken Garofalo, and today we're diving into one of the hottest trends in the crypto world, meme coins, of course. And joining us is Crypto Granny, the developer of BOOJI. She's also an OG TikTok influencer and passionate advocate for wildlife conservation and women in crypto. So we'll be talking about the explosive world of meme coins, the Trump coin controversy, the vision behind BOOJI, and much, much more. We're also doing a giveaway. So if you guys are watching live, drop a comment from wherever you're watching this stream, and we're going to select a winner for a little BOOJI giveaway at the end of this. So keep those comments coming throughout the live stream, guys. And we're going to get into some of the questions in a minute here. But first, a word from Crypto Live League. All right, awesome. Let's get right into it. And so, how's everything going today, Crypto Granny?
Going good, really good. Today was the launch of the NFT project, and it went well.
A lot of exciting news to get to. And of course, you're ultra famous on TikTok. I think you have over 100,000 followers, and you have a bunch of following on other platforms as well. So we're really super excited to have you on our live stream today. And maybe, who knows, we're even going to have a BOOJI content integration on our website soon. Who knows?
Cool.
So let's get right into it. Let's get into the lightning round questions where you can find more about you as a person. So what's your favorite go-to meme coin of all time? Of course, other than BOOJI.
Yeah, I would have to say Doge. I think it's the king. And if I'm going to pick up other than BOOJI, I tend to check the charts on Doge first. I look at other ones, and I'll trade some really new ones, but hodling, it's Doge.
Absolutely. Time tested. It's ancient in this market where we've only been really live for 16, 17 years with Bitcoin and all the other altcoins coming afterwards. So cool to hear. And if you could give financial advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Oh man, just to start saving 10% of my income from the day I worked at the ice cream shop or whatever. I mean, had I tucked away 10% of every paycheck, I would have been a millionaire by the age of 30. I would have been a multimillionaire by the age of 40. But I didn't really start saving until probably my early 30s. So I would have liked to start at the first job at 16 years old. That's what I would tell myself.
Yeah, that's definitely sage advice. You know, compound interest is one of the wonders of the world, right? But it only works.
Yeah, because you think about that's like 14 years, and it was probably more like 16 years before I really started to tuck money away. So 16 years that I was just blowing it. Whatever I made went out the door.
That's all right. Make it all back with the meme coin madness that's happening right now.
Exactly.
So if you could collaborate with any crypto project, who would it be?
Wow. Well, I mean, it'd be all kinds of different collaborations, but I think Pepe's got a lot going on. I would love to see an integration with BOOJI and Pepe, especially from a gaming standpoint. I think if we could go like the BOOJI tribe against the Pepe tribe in some kind of game where, you had to wrestle them or something and swing from vines or whatever Pepe is, a frog. So we'd have to jump from lily pad to lily pad. That'd be fun.
That definitely sounds fun. And I bet you one day you're going to see games like that exist. So
yeah, I hope so.
So this or that, Bitcoin or Solana?
Bitcoin.
Really?
I'm a maxi.
Interesting how a Bitcoin maxi can get into the world of meme coins and sort of go against what the Bitcoin maxis stand for.
Yeah.
I feel like they
Well, you know
really
what?
don't.
Bitcoin's boring. You buy it or I buy it and I hold it. So there's not a lot of action going on until I make my next purchase, which I really haven't bought much Bitcoin since about $50,000. But yeah, so I got bored, and so that's how meme coins came into the pictures. They're so exciting. And it's something to do and something to watch, and it engages you 100% until you can figure out how to put a stop loss and a limit sell on it.
Really great insights. We have a lot of Bitcoin maxis that watch the channel, and seeing you as an example that you step foot into this other world of meme coins where there's more action, there's more things to keep your attention, more profits to be made, maybe in the short term, right? So I wonder if others watch.
Yeah, it's swing trading. It's definitely swing trading.
And what about the biggest crypto myth that you'd like to bust? What would that be?
That all of crypto is a scam. I think I talked to someone the other day, my age, and they're like, Bitcoin's a scam. Ethereum's a scam. XRP is a scam. And I'm like, where are you hearing this?
Right.
Like, who's telling you this? Meme coins are a scam. If they had said BOOJI's a scam, I could at least counter it by saying it's not, but most of the other meme coins are. But no, they just, wherever they're getting their information, or they're not really listening to maybe the talking heads on some of the financial channels. I don't really know, but I would bust that myth that all of crypto is a big scam.
Yeah, really interesting one, because if you talk to someone who's not really crypto savvy, they're new to it, they may not understand it, they're gonna think it's a scam. And it's like, where did that opinion come from? Because all the big channels now, like your CNBC, your Fox News, the president of the USA now is all pro crypto, pro altcoins.
Yeah, I think Jamie Dimon still gets out there, and even though JP Morgan owns a lot of crypto, Dimon goes out and says he thinks it's just one big Ponzi scheme. Meanwhile, you're holding $1 billion worth of crypto. So
yeah,
okay.
Little FUD to dip the price so he can buy more, right?
Probably that's what it feels like.
And yeah, with the loose regulations in the industry, that's definitely what's happening. People with power and influence are definitely swinging these markets with their words.
Right, because he can go on a TV show and say, "Nah, I still think it's a big scam," and then everyone panics and they start to sell because they follow his advice. But I always say, when everybody's crying, I'm buying. So.
Great motto. And if you could describe meme coins in just one word, what would it be?
Wow, I would just say volatile. Just so volatile. They move quick, and you have to move quick. And I'm watching a lot of people trade them badly. They think that there are crypto projects you can buy and hold like BOOJI, but I would say 95% of them, you need to be in and out in the same day, if not in an hour. So
Right.
it's learning to set a stop loss, take the loss. I usually set mine somewhere around 10 or 15%, and then I'll set a profit limit order for 50%. So if I happen to walk away and that thing shoots up, it'll trade me out. And it happened with what's the new AI thing that came out?
Godius Maximus.
No, the that's competing with ChatGPT. That coin was running yesterday, and I traded out. I got in and shot up, and my limit order took me out, and that thing continued to skyrocket. The Asian company that's competing with ChatGPT. I'm blanking on their name.
DeepSeek.
Yes, DeepSeek. So yeah, that was an interesting one that happened very quickly, and I wasn't sure how long it was going to stick around, but it's still trading right now. I think it's probably still up.
And that's the thing with these meme coins is 95% of them follow the same pattern. And, they pump up from sub 100K market caps all the way up to, couple 100K, maybe a couple million market caps. And then over the next 24 hours, they slow bleed to death. And
Right.
if you're not out, if you fall asleep and let the position ride overnight, you're going to wake up and find 50% or more of that value gone.
And that was my experience. I had that experience. So then I would just trade really quick. Like if I was going to sleep, I'm like, you have to get out of the trade no matter where it is, because while you're sleeping, you'll lose. And now I use a Telegram bot to trade, so that I can set my limit and my stop. But yeah, I think that is part of the problem is, not knowing when to leave.
Right. And it takes a trained eye. I mean, there's nothing wrong with 20%, right? And you can get 20% in 5 minutes in some of these coins. You do that enough times over and over, you're going to get that compound effect, and you're going to get over 100% a day.
I would say that's my new trading strategy because I learned the hard way. You know, I stayed in
Right.
too long, but right now I might be in for 30 minutes max. And if it's $20, it's $20. If it's 200, it's 200. But I get nervous sticking around. But now with BOOJI, because BOOJI is a project that's growing and building, and you know, it has a huge community. That's the other thing. I dive into the telegrams. I can tell within probably 30 seconds whether this thing is a real project or just a bunch of Jeters in there dumping memes, you know, pump it up memes. So when you find a telegram like BOOJI, you're going to see the difference real fast.
Exactly, like BOOJI. And if anyone is an avid TikTok watcher, definitely follow Crypto Granny on TikTok. She's always live streaming and has really great insights. I think you even analyze other tokens on the live stream as well.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of that. I do a little bit less of that now, but yeah, I'll pull up other people's charts and give them just, you know, a bird's eye view of what it looks like from somebody who doesn't know anything about your project. A little bit of chart analysis, and if I have the time, I'll click on their website and their X account just to see what they're doing. Because if they're not really doing anything cool, then I have a hard time looking my audience in the eye and saying, yeah, you know, I always end with do your homework. You guys decide, you know, not financial advice. You definitely need to go in and look at what's happening and what's being said. And then that's how I bring them back to BOOJI, is because I'm really confident and really proud of our Telegram and the activity that's in there. It's polite. It's not rude. There are some funny memes that, you know, we slip in there, but most of them are BOOJI memes, and most of them are just really interesting conversations about, you know, not just trading, but maybe what cars we bought when we were 16 years old and stuff like that. So it's a different kind of Telegram that it's going to stick around for that reason, because it truly is a community and not just a bunch of strangers. So
Absolutely. And that kind of leads us into our next question. And I also just brought up the chart for BOOJI here on the screen, and people can kind of see it's a really good success here. You've got 140K in liquidity locked. You've got, you know, an 800K fully diluted market value. That's pretty massive. You know, and it's got some age to it as well here. Multiple days being traded. How old is BOOJI? When did it first launch?
it just turned 2 months, like last week. So we should be about 2 months in a week, roughly. So, you know, we had that initial parabolic run up when all the whales jump in, and then they are in such a profit zone. It went up to bumped its head just below 8 million. And then the profit taking was just insane. And I was looking at these wallets, they dumped 10 or 20,000 in, and they were taking 40 to 80,000 out. So, you know, that's just common with meme coins. You're going to see that with every meme coin. If it's popular and somebody has a following like I do, it's going to shoot straight up, and then within about a week, if not a short time frame, it's going to come back down, find its floor. Right now, I think all of crypto's bleeding out. I think the Trump coin definitely took a bite out of every meme coin I follow. So we're all trying to find our footing after that. I think we're all down a little bit, Soba and He and some of the big ones. So
Yeah,
we're working at it though.
Absolutely amazing run up on that initial. It wasn't even an initial run up. There was, you know, the launch. Then you had a few days in market, and it looked like the 20th in December. You had that massive 100x in this chart.
What I was doing at that time, because, you know, I was shocked that the thing bonded and it became a DEX project or a Radium project as quick as it did. But it was kind of quiet. And so I decided to do more airdrops, and I did the 12 days of BOOJI Christmas. And so people started to really pay attention because I was posting about it every day. And I would do maybe 6 a day, somewhere between $5 and $10. Because at that time, my bag was too big and people were complaining because I had too much. I'm like, I'm just going to give it away. And so that brought a lot of eyeballs to the project. And but it was whales. It was, I think it was a lot of the Soba guys, you know, just playing with us. So when they left, they took a lot of profit with them. But what was left was the core of people that are in the Telegram and just kind of more committed and into the project and into the whole giving back, you know, wildlife conservation initiative. So now we have our true blue, you know, hodlers, and from here we just need to attract more people and more people who, you know, want to get into a meme coin project that does have utility. Today with the $900,000 we raised with the NFTs, 20% of that goes to adopt 2 more gorillas, because they're somewhere between $50 and $150. So last I looked, we were just shy of 200. So that was pretty cool. And that's part of what the community likes about it too. They don't feel like they're just in some flash in the pan meme coin project.
Yeah, absolutely. I
there
can
you
tell
go.
that as well. And we got the NFT project showcasing here on the screen. Yeah, these are pretty cool graphics. And tell us about the gorilla theme. I know you mentioned it has utility, the BOOJI meme coin.
Yeah. So when I created the word bougie, I just wrote it differently than the actual spelling. I think it's a funny word because people can use it negatively or positively. So I just kind of stole it and tried to make it a positive. And then I had to find a picture that I own the copyrights to, and I'm a photographer, as you can see behind me. So
Oh, yeah.
I found this image of a brass statue that I had taken in Greenwich Village of this ape head. And it wasn't even an interesting photo, but I'm like, that'll work. Because like I said, it was just an adventure for me. I didn't think anything would happen with it. So I threw that up. So it just happened to be a gorilla head. So when it did turn into something, gorillas were on the forefront, the mascot now. And I happen to be a primate lover. I love monkeys. I love capuchin monkeys. I like gorillas. I like orangutans. So I searched out Diane Fossey's foundation and immediately started adopting gorillas and putting up the certificates and asking everyone else to. And they did, and they were using the BOOJI community name. So the next thing you know, she sent me a coupon. So we had like 20% off. And yeah, it just turned into a real giving back initiative. So it's just cool. But honestly, it all happened accidentally, and it happened just organically. And what's the next idea that can come to my mind now that I have this platform? Even still, I didn't think people would hang around. I thought, well, they're just going to abandon me, in a day or two. But they didn't. They took over the Telegram and they started handing out job titles, and they weeded out the bad actors. And I was left with a core group of about 6 guys, maybe 5 guys, 6 including me, that are just very ethical and into the project. So I lucked out.
Yeah, and that's kind of a great story. You don't hear it as much nowadays, especially with meme coin projects, like a long-standing community. So what you've accomplished is organic, and it's got power, and it's a great example to let people know that communities are forming out there. And if you play around with some of these platforms, these websites, launch your own coin, you can create your own community and make of it what you will. If you want to have a long-term community.
Yeah, I think that's the point now. I'm watching other people who want to launch a meme coin ethically, with integrity, and do something good with it, because they've seen me do it successfully. And even in the beginning, when I decided to do a meme coin, it was because I was so pissed about that kid rugging everybody live on the air, and that it was just giving meme coins such a terrible personality or whatever, or reputation. So I was immediately gonna not sell the dev. Being the dev, I wasn't going to sell my dev bag until it got really huge. So it was no rugs, just hugs. And then, I just kept pressing that message that now that you're here and you bought BOOJI, just understand that we're flipping the script. This is not going to go the way all your other meme coins have gone. We're going to do this in a way that really changes the landscape, so that other people can follow in my footsteps and figure out a way to use meme coins to give back or to do good, or maybe you can raise money for cancer or one little sick kid or whatever. You just have to do it ethically and legitimately, and prove. You have to put up the proof. So that's why all the gorilla certificates were so important, because you had to get that in an email. I guess you could have faked them, but Diane Fossey sends them out, and adoptions are $50. So what would be the point? But but I have seen other people come into my lives and say, yeah, a little sick Billy is, we're trying to raise money for him. And I'm like, what hospital is he at? Let's call the hospital. We'll get into your project, but we need to be able to verify. We need to vet this out. And, the crickets. So I do know a couple of BOOJI people who want to launch their own projects, and they want to do it like I did it. So that's pretty inspiring, that they have a real cause and they want to build a real community to do it.
So what do you think makes these meme coins so appealing to the masses, to the general population? How do they differ from regular cryptocurrencies that draw people in?
I think, first of all, it's attracting a younger audience. Obviously, I'm such a unicorn in this space, someone my age and a woman to be
Right.
interested in meme coins. I don't even know one other woman my age who trades meme coins. But I know a lot. I've made a lot of friends with guys that are under the age of 30. First time in my life, half my friends are men under the age of 30. So it's definitely that demographic. But I think it's because they've seen people become millionaires overnight by slapping $100 down on something. And I think that's very rare for that to happen. Can it happen? Yes. And now what I see is they start to organize, okay? And I really believe that that age group knows how to organize like I've never seen, because I'm privy to what they're saying and doing now. And I'm like, you guys are amazing. How do you do this? No wonder Trump won. He got that all that bro vote, and these guys behind the scenes can rally their troops. And so it's pretty fascinating to watch. And I think they're bonding together, and they're trying to do it together so that they can like create a coin, shoot it up, everybody gets out at the same time. So they're moving together, which is dangerous for the person who's by themselves. But I see this whole thing evolving, and if you're in the meme coin space, you really need to pay attention, because when you're up against a team of people and they're all live streaming something, they're also all they've all agreed to when they're going to take it out. So you got to know what you're doing. But it is the younger dudes.
Okay. So I mean, that's great advice from an insider, right? So you've seen this before, you know the trends, and you're giving advice on what to look out for, what to watch out for someone who's looking to get involved. And in the other flip side of things, you're kind of teaching people how to collaborate and launch a project like your own.
Yeah, there's two ways to do it. I mean, there's the way I did it, and there's the way they do it. But if you really are the type of person who wants to give back, meme coins are a great platform to do it. Totally legitimate, not a scam. It's going to be hard to keep people in the project long term, and that's where gaming and NFTs and giving back and airdrops and incentivizing, and you've got to get clever and you got to do stuff. And just watching how Pepe did it and Bonk. I don't even know that Doge does that much of it. They're just, they just became king of the hill. But but Pepe definitely has a lot of interaction going with their website.
So speaking of the Trump coin, like I still can't wrap my head around it that the president launched a meme coin 3 days before the inauguration event, and then Melania Trump, first lady, also launched a meme coin. What the heck is going on? Like, if this was 4 or 5 years ago, it would be they'd be in prison, right? Like it doesn't make any sense.
Right. First of all, I don't think either one of them knew exactly what a meme coin was and truly happening. I'm sure they were approached by, I heard it was the people who did Hawk, that same organization, and they them and said, here's what's happening. We can do this. You'll easily raise $1 million. We'll manage it for you. And busy. I mean, he was just coming in. He was about to take office. Their team's like, no. And just if you guys say it's legit and it's safe, like $1 billion, not doing anything illegal, and they weren't. There's nothing illegal they did. So I think that they weren't each personally that involved. And when they saw what happened, sure, that they learned a lot of coins really fast. But and the team to launch back was probably one of the stupidest things I've ever seen, because I think they would have made twice the money. They dragged Melania's out till after the inauguration or something.
Right. It kind of,
I don't know, or I guess it was after.
People kind of jumped from the Trump coin into the Melania coin, and you kind of netted zero.
Right. Exactly what they did. Out all projects. They took a lot of liquidity from us, put into Trump for about maybe 20, and then Melania, I remember the coffee, and they texted me, Melania dropped the coin, and the contract address was there, and I'm like, it's legit, because I don't have the time to do the homework on it. You got to get in right away. You literally use that contract address and put it on and wrote it up for about 4 hours and paid
amazing.
I stayed in, it would have been more, but I was like, this is sticking around. But it came back down, but it's still there. It's crazy. I just don't think that they actually knew.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure Trump and Don knew exactly going to happen.
Right.
So.
Makes sense. I mean, I looked into it a little bit. There's some LLCs associated with the project. One LLC associated with Trump, but there was another LLC that I didn't know who owned it. So maybe that's that organization you're talking of that helped them launch. So really crazy stuff. And it shows that there's opportunity. That's like a big middle finger to Gary Gensler and the SEC of old. You know, we're going to do things differently this time around. And, you know, it's like the Wild West again. I like it. It's like 2017 all over again. So I'm a fan. Let's get into we mentioned your wildlife conservation efforts with the coin, with the sponsoring of the gorilla, which relates to the logo of the project. But you also have a passion for diversity within crypto. You're obviously, you stated you're a woman in crypto. There's not many, and there's not many older women in crypto either. So you're truly a unicorn. What challenges have you faced, and what steps can the industry take to be more inclusive to everyone?
Yeah, I think honestly, the first step is girls have to want to learn. And I think they're bit by the bug because next to their boyfriends who are on their phone all night long, not paying attention to them because, you know, I'm in the millennium. And when you're trading, it's very attention drain. And you can't be doing 6 other things. You really have to know what you're doing, right, or you get burned. So I think that all it takes is a smartphone. Girls have as many smartphones as boys. They just have to decide to make money the same way they are. You know, commit to learning a little bit. And I think in the beginning, you might make money the first time, you lose the third time, you start to dig down into what, learn how to trade. But first of all, I did it on girls. I think it's there's certainly a barrier, the knowledge, you know, once you have it and you trade it out, it goes over people. The hardest time trying it down, what would I have understood in the beginning? Like liquidity and that, and I'm like, they don't know what that means. The simplest words that you and I can back and forth, and I go to other people, do you speak crypto? And they're like, no, okay. Well, I'm gonna make it real. I'm gonna don't be insulted. This is just how it, you know, and then you and blah blah blah. So I think, you know, just they're afraid to look stupid. So one of the things I do is say, I will break it down. I haven't made up of, you know, organizing it, so go through a folder and look at it all. Not my thing. But ask me questions, occasional video, new person, force them to just keep asking questions. My thing about crypto, and I would try, if you tried to do anything, there's always a glitch. There's always a stumbling block, or the transaction won't go through, and what am I doing wrong? And I remember one of my first lessons, I was so mad and I couldn't get the trade to up on TikTok, and they're like, slippage, Granny, slippage. Right. I'm like, what's slippage? And they're like, you got to adjust your slippage. So I just get in there and I look for slippage. Sure enough, oh yeah, it said at 0.05. So, you know, I put it up to 2.5% and my trades started to go through. And to me, when I launched BOOJI, calling me, how do I buy this? It won't go through. I'm like, slippage. So, you know, you have to go backwards to bring on board new people. And it's very hard to, you know, they're going to understand. So, you know, a lot of times I apps table or your first investment in your pocket on the house money. And I think, you know, take some profits. You put it, no matter what happens, you just take off, you know, a huge.
I call that
I
call that the screenshot fade. Once you are starting to screenshot your portfolio, that's it. That's it. It's going to be the top for sure. That's just kind of the way things are.
Yeah, you're in. Very hard profits when a coin is up. It's very hard.
Right. And you know, for so many of us that had Bitcoin in the early days, we're talking early 20 teens, right? It was nearly impossible to hold that Bitcoin through the 1000x run in price that it did. You know, you're going to want to start taking profit when you're up over 100%. It's just human nature. You don't see any other asset perform like this. This is all relatively new stuff.
Right. You didn't think it would keep going. You thought it was just going to bounce around the range. It was going to be go up to going to like 28,000 and then coming back. And I thought, that's a lot. And we ran up to 30, 40 or something, came back to 16. At 16, 2 whole coins. This is a yard now. I'm thinking back to 31, but to zoom out, I see that the trend is up. And then start woods and all these $1 million. But could it go to 2 a year? Yeah, I think so. I think it could.
I think Kathy Wood needs to get her fund out of the red, so she needs that $1 million price target this year. Certainly.
And you think about it, she does need everyone in mind, so you know of who they are. So I take everything with a grain of salt. I don't really care. They're like, wow, this looks like it's going into a bull flag, and the death cross, and it doesn't matter, because at any given moment somebody can sneeze and it's going to go up or down. And so I just zoom out and go, overall it's going up. So there's nothing in its way to stop it right now yet. We'll see. But right now I don't see anything in the way.
And just like trading indexes, like the S&P 500, if you miss the top 4 positive days in a year, you could miss out on the entire return generated by the index over the course of that year. So it is kind of hard to time the market right, and you want to stay in. If it's a long-term hold type asset like Bitcoin, you're better off kind of just holding and forgetting instead of trying to time the market so much. You might miss those couple days of massive returns, and then you're chasing, and you're going to end up probably losing instead of gaining in the process. Yeah. And so
I think with Bitcoin, and there are others, that you can just buy and hold, because if you did that and just held it for 5 years, which is not a very long time to hold an investment, but if people could buy XRP or Bitcoin or Ethereum, I'm not a big Ethereum fan, but Solana, and come back and talk to me in 5 years, because I would guess, my guess is that if history continues to repeat itself, then Solana should be easily $500, $1,000, and Bitcoin, well past 500,000. So I don't know, but something can turn it around. I just don't know what that is yet. But when I see it coming, I'm going to go, whoa, let's get out.
If anyone watching has any questions for Crypto Granny, just throw it in the chat of where you're watching this live stream, and we'll be sure to qualify you for the BOOJI giveaway. So get those questions into the chat now. As we near the end of our long form questions, we'll get into the community Q&A after. And so the NFT space and meme coins often intersect. Potential synergies between your NFT project and BOOJI coin. Is it perhaps an airdrop to the NFT holders?
We haven't really decided what the perks are now, aside from your NFT being like a VIP ticket, and you get some DAO voting rights. And we have alluded to the fact of future airdrops. But the problem with airdropping your own token into people's wallets is they turn around and sell it immediately.
Right.
So it doesn't really help the project. It hurts the project. So we could do a Solana airdrop and reward them in a token that they can turn around and buy BOOJI. But we also, because I gave away probably 70% of the dev bag, so we don't have that big bag of money sitting there that we can just go, oh, let's just give it away for free. And we haven't accepted any venture capital at this point, which we would probably entertain, I think, to really get to the next level, to grow the project. If somebody wanted to come in and say, yeah, we'll help you out, here's the X amount of money, this is what we need you to do, and that would be a really interesting meeting to take. But and that's where I think really cool airdrops can come in. In the meantime, while we just have a small budget, they can only be very small. And the last time, like when I ran the NFT art competition, I gave away, it ended up being $50, $60 of Solana spread out to 3 guys. They just turned around and said, just adopt another gorilla with it. So, unless I get those airdrops big, people are probably, at least in my community, they just like giving it back and allowing us to get more adoption certificates.
Exactly. So I have a question here from the community. So do you know the holder amount of BOOJI, the amount of wallet addresses holding BOOJI?
Last I looked, it was a little over 1,700. No, 27. I forget. No, I'd have to
In
look.
the thousands. In the thousands.
Yeah, maybe it's 1,700. I can't remember. I haven't looked at it in a few days. And we do have, I'm usually wallet number 6, depending on how much people are buying, selling, but it's the wallet that starts out FH3. So you can always go look at me to make sure I'm not selling my BOOJI, that I'm good for my word. But right now I think I'm wallet number 6. But the people above me, and especially the wallet right under liquidity, which would be wallet number 2 and 3, they just keep accumulating. So they own a lot of BOOJI, and we've tried to kind of trace it back and figure out who they might be, and we really don't know who they are. But they act like there's some kind of fund manager, the way they own all kinds of different meme coins and all kinds of other crypto. But they are truly BOOJI believers, because I think even today they bought. So they're not selling at all. They're just accumulating.
So that's you're kind of telling the tale of the tape. We call that in the prop trading business and equity trading business. How did you become savvy enough to look at the holders, make assumption about people accumulating? What tools are you using to help formulate that picture?
Prior to
If that makes
meme
sense.
coins, I didn't really know how to do any of that. But once you got into meme coins, and I guess we're in an age where when you look at a screen and there's 50 things that you can click on, I am the person that clicks on every single thing. And by the time I'm done, I understand the game. I can play Call of Duty. I know where every little nuanced trick is, what this thing does, how you redo this, how do you switch from a knife to a gun. I know it all. And it's the same with, like Deck Screener or whatever platform you're using. You just literally have to click on everything. You're like, oh, wow, look where this leads me. And it's a rabbit hole, okay? When you click on, Soul Scan, and it goes to their wallet, and you're spinning through their portfolio or their transactions or their airdrops or their NFTs. I mean, the blockchain is transparent, so you can start to dig, and from there you can dig further. Oh, they transferred money to this wallet and that wallet, and it's a paper trail or a digital trail. But yeah, I mean, I have guys on my team that are even better at it than I am, so we send them out there like sleuths, and they'll come back in 24 hours and go, okay, here's what I've learned. And so I've really learned from them exactly how much information you can garner. It still doesn't tell you exactly who they are, because there are no names attached to these wallet addresses. So in some respects, it's anonymous, but when you go to file your taxes and you sent money from Coinbase to your 7 Phantom wallets, that's traceable real easy.
Right.
So
And that's putting a name to the wallet address. Exactly. So
then you're putting a name to the wallet address, because you've had to KYC, know your customer. You had to put up a driver's license there. But yeah, Phantom, you don't need an ID. So it's interesting, and I think that will change. I think that's the kind of regulation that Hester Pierce, that coin launched the other day. We were all up in that, but I think people like her and Sachs will start to make it so, at least for Americans, I think it'll be harder for us to trade without a name attached to a wallet, because that's one, it's only fair, and number two, if they really do get rid of crypto taxes, which the rumor is, it's just a rumor, but the rumor is that they plan on doing that, then it doesn't matter, unless you're doing something nefarious. It's fine that that I do this with all my crypto. I don't have to tell you that the hard drive went down with the boat. But so we'll see if they do that. I think that's the kind of regulation and guidelines that the industry needs, just to kind of tighten it up a little bit without inhibiting it.
Absolutely. And lastly, what's next for BOOJI and the broader efforts that you're pursuing with the conservation for the gorillas and with the NFT project? What's your next step here? What's the next move?
Right. Well, we certainly want to increase the amount that we give away, because right now, it's probably under $5,000 is how much we've donated or adopted out. So we really want to get that number up first to something that we're really making a difference for that organization. we were helping out the orangutan project, but we really got no feedback from them. So that was a little frustrating, where the Diane Fossey Gorilla Foundation, was contacting me on TikTok and emailing me and, coming up with ways that we could connect. I do have an email correspondence going back and forth with them, somehow, incorporating BOOJI, like a landing page where my audience can just immediately land there. Anybody, they don't even have to be a BOOJI holder, just a crypto granny follower who's like, oh, I'll do that. That sounds good. But I can send them to a particular link. So I want to tighten up our connection just to make it even more legitimate. And then, increase the amount of dollars that we can contribute. And to do that, the NFTs raise money, 20% of that goes directly to them. But I think if we can just increase the project, get more eyeballs, get more wallet holders, grow it to, right now it's hovering just under $1 million, get it back up to that $7, $8, $10 million range, especially over 10. I just think at that point we'll have the funds to be able to implement gaming and other things that will generate income that we can continue to donate. So I don't know, just really that right now. Thinking beyond that, I just feel like I have to accomplish what's in front of me first. And once I do that, then I can tell you the next big dream. But right now, it's just increasing the size of this project.
Great plan. And there are a bunch of VC firms out there that specifically bring liquidity into projects.
Like the problem is when they email me or text me, I never know who's legitimate.
Right.
They all sound the same. They sound just like a scammer. It's very hard to know.
And there's a lot of social engineering going on out there, relating to hacks. If you're a public figure like you are, you're going to be a target. So it's hard to trust anyone, really. But you must be getting a lot of inquiries regardless of that. And hopefully you do find the right one and get the liquidity back up and the market cap back up in BOOJI.
I think that would be the next step, is to partner with some money guys, money women, money firms that, are experienced in this space, and they come from a reputable source and we can trust them, and they can literally guide us and partially take over the project, because when you get to the next level, it has to be somebody greater than me, somebody with a lot more experience to help elevate it.
Well, maybe a team of people or a team of partners. There are a lot of companies in place like us at Crypto Live Leak that provide content integration services aimed at SEO optimization, increasing traffic to your website, and increasing brand reputation, and also just getting views on the content, putting educational content out there. If you want to teach people about the social concept of BOOJI, the guerrilla conservative effort that's going on. If there's a staking method for other coins, right? If you decide to participate in a DeFi protocol and lock some BOOJI up as reward, people can then stake, or if they want to stake the LP tokens to get that reward. There's so much you can do. And we at Crypto Live Leak, we're all about telling the world about what you are doing. So we're going to be sure to pursue a BOOJI content asset integration on our site, its own dedicated profile page where we can aggregate all of the content on our site related to BOOJI.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So at least that will give the community another reference page to go to if they want to catch up on the latest BOOJI videos and blog posts.
That sounds excellent.
Yeah. And we do have a comment here, another community question. So Block Relations writes, what game do you want the BOOJI brand in?
I don't know the answer to that question, because as far as I understood, we were going to have to create our own game or skin somebody else's game, just give it a BOOJI brand. But we're open to suggestions. That's where joining the Telegram, if you're well versed and experienced in that lane, we could really use somebody to come in and say, hey, I know how to reskin a game, and it can be this game or this game or this game. Certainly a gorilla themed game would be cool, but it doesn't have to be. It can be anything, really. But yeah, we don't really have an expert in that field on the team right now, so that's one of the little holes we need to fill.
I wish I could help you.
We have answer to that question.
Yeah, we have built apps at Crypto Live Leak. We built an app called Flappy Crypto, which was a play on Flappy Bird. And, your icon is a little Bitcoin, and it goes up and down. It avoids the buildings. And I believe it's still available for Android. It's not available for Apple anymore. There was too much of a cost to keep it listed on the store. And we're also launching a Telegram mini app that's actually currently live if you can find it, but we're not giving out the link yet. We're still improving it and testing it. And So we are, a game shop as well. So if you get to the point,
cool! I did not know that. Awesome.
we have our fingers in a lot of different areas: Web3 development, NFT projects, traditional games and apps, and then the Telegram mini app that we're working on that should really help engage with our audience, build a bigger following, and have them subscribe to all our channels as part of the gamification of that app.
Yes. So maybe you can help us. You may be the right connection right there.
Absolutely.
Because gamification is exactly where we need to go with this. Because the one thing about meme coins is they are fun. They are whimsical. They need to be interactive. They need to be different than, like I was saying, Bitcoin's kind of boring. So we have to constantly be coming up with things. And when that game gets tired, we need to launch another game. So yeah, we need to find people like you that can guide us and help us, and maybe we can bring you some business.
Absolutely. And we're big on gamification. Our whole website is attention mining is what we've dubbed it. We've trademarked it, actually. You actually get rewards in cryptocurrency for different actions on the site, including just logging in, visiting different pages, watching videos. Every 10 seconds, you're earning more. And you can see it kind of your balance go up as you're doing these interactions on the site. And they're redeemable for the CLL token, which does have its own liquidity pools. Not as big as BOOJI whatsoever, but maybe we need a rebrand or relaunch into a pump.fun meme coin token. Who knows, right? That might be the way to go.
BOOJI has a liquidity pool that people interact with. It's mostly, you have to be in the Telegram and be in the know, but there's a group of them that they play with the liquidity pools.
Very cool to hear. And so
they're earning fees or something.
Yes, right.
Out of my league, but they like it. So
well, that's a huge income strategy, is to deposit liquidity into these LPs. And as long as, if the token's flat and has a lot of trading volume, that's where the liquidity pools make the most money. They're scraping off the fees of the transactions that occur off the volume. So if like what you have a high volume coin here, whoever's in the LP is making a good return, probably over 100% return since it has launched as a project.
And he's trying to teach us it, but that's crypto language that still I have a hard time absorbing exactly. I get the gist of it, but I'm like, oh, okay, all right, this is just a whole new thing I have to learn, and I've been learning so much so fast. So, but yeah, they're doing it. If that's something somebody's interested in, we can get you hooked up.
Awesome. So as we wrap up today's episode of Crypto Live League, I just want to give you a huge thanks to Crypto Granny for joining us today and sharing all your insights, passion, information about BOOJI, information about how women can get into crypto, the kind of hurdles they may face, and maybe you even want some more women on your team, right? So there's an opportunity right there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would love for more girls to join our team. We have a few, but we're probably outnumbered 98 to 2.
It's typical for the audience in the crypto market, right? You're looking at anywhere between 85 to 95% male-dominated audience. So it is what it is.
I can see that on my TikTok stats. It'll show me that 15% of the people watching were women. So trying to change that, skew that a little bit further towards women.
Women need to get more greedy and chase the profits of these meme coin pumps, right?
Yeah. They just need to be self-sufficient. It doesn't have to be greed, just self-sufficient.
Right. Exactly. Shouldn't be negative, right? It should be positive. So be sure to check out the BOOJI project at BOOJIMEME coin.com. That's BOOJImemecoin.com, and follow Crypto Granny on TikTok for more crypto and NFT content. And she's also available on Twitter at Chigby, CHIGBY, and the TikTok is at crypto_granny. So if you guys dropped a question in the chat today, stay tuned. We will follow up with you after the live stream for that BOOJI giveaway. If you just keep your DMs open, we'll get your address and make sure to get you over that airdrop. And so don't forget to follow Crypto Live League across all social platforms. That's X, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, TikTok, you name it, we're on it. And for every week, we give exclusive live streams featuring the biggest names in blockchain, Web3, and the crypto space. So be sure to keep tuning in. Thank you so much, Crypto Granny, for joining us. Until next time. Until next time, take care, everyone, and stay crypto savvy.